Welcome to our 40th celebration day. Here we go. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in.
Good morning, everyone. We are celebrating our 40th year as Unity of Appleton. And with that, we're going to share some key people that we want to acknowledge from our past. That I often think of Jane Goodall and how she would talk about she's the sparrow and Richard Leakey, the scientist, was the eagle, and how the sparrow can fly higher than the eagle. And these are all the people that are our eagles that Unity's been built upon and that we're flying higher than as a result of. Okay, let's hear some bios. Our first is Reverend Cheryl Farr. What's Fair. Okay, I'm sorry. I just called her Reverend Cheryl when I knew her. And she came to Unity fresh out of Unity Ministerial School in 1997. She was a former rocket scientist and an ardent Green Bay Packers fan. Cheryl's husband, Neil, was a leader in our youth ministry, and they both guided us from 1997 to 2002. And she was the first minister I knew of. After the departure of Cheryl...
Wait a minute. There's a video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Congratulations on 40 years. What an amazing achievement. And I am so glad to have been a part of that over all of these years. I remember faces and friends, but most of all, I remember what a great experience it was at Unity of Appleton. I was a brand new minister, really didn't know what I was doing, sometimes still don't. But I was treated so wonderfully. And I was mentored, and I didn't even realize it at the time. But what a wonderful, great 5 years I had with you. You will always be in my heart, and congratulations again. I love you. Namaste.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Congratulations.
We're dealing with new technology this morning, right?
So after the departure of Reverend Cheryl Fair, we hired Reverend Mary Lou Palmer. She was our transitional minister from 2002 to 2003, and she helped us determine our spiritual focus during a time of change back then, and she continues to guide us with her wisdom now. This year, her loving and inspirational presence led us to ask her to be our current minister of record.
Good morning, beautiful people in Appleton. I'm here at my cozy little kitchen in North Carolina and wanting to send well wishes to you to celebrate you for your journey of 40 years to get to where you are today. And it has been truly my honor to be with you as the only minister who's been with you twice in these 20 years. And it's an honor to be with you again.
Thank you.
Good morning.
And here we have Reverend Morgan Barkley. I was actually on the hiring committee to choose him. Fresh out of ministerial school, Morgan Barkley served Unity of Appleton from 2003 to 2007. His great sense of humor often came out during his messages. During meditation, his wife Cynthia would often accompany him on her Native American flute. Morgan was instrumental in saving for a building of our own, and Cynthia was a prayer chaplain. Both were kind and understanding, and they brought a loving atmosphere of togetherness. Morgan.
Hello, this is Reverend Morgan Barclay here to congratulate you on your 40 years of service. Thousands of people have walked through the doors of Unity of Appleton and have been blessed. I want to thank you for having the honor of serving as your minister as I came out of ministerial school in 2003 for about 4 years. So you are and have been and will continue to be a great blessing to the Appleton area. So many hugs to you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Morgan. I want to also personally remember Jean Bolter. She was one of our founding members, and my daughter was 15-ish at the time and was helping Jean in her older years. When Jean passed, she bequeathed a legacy that was 6 digits to Unity of Appleton. So she has helped us to be where we are today. Thank you. Even though we now are looking at April Kane Breeze. Even though she is the 4th leader cited here, Reverend April Kane Breeze was a founding member of Unity of Appleton. We began as a study group in 1983, she said. Immersed in Unity principles, she guided, taught, and shared her passion for all things Unity for many years. She led Unity of Appleton first as a licensed Unity teacher and then became an ordained minister in May of 2014. She retired from Unity of Appleton in November 2016. We are so grateful for her foundational leadership. And I remember John was our president of the board at that time for the last part of it. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Bear with us for a moment here.
Oh, okay.
April's video did not want to work.
So while April's video is coming up, I want to go back and thank John as president of our board. And I think you were with her kind of the second half of our of her ministry.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
So we won't be able to
Here.
hear her, but not watch the video because for whatever reason we just can't.
Okay, but we can hear. Okay.
Congratulations on 40 years.
We'll hear her voice, that's
I'm sending all best wishes to each and every one of you. When I think back to those early days, I remember meeting in the basement at the Unitarian Church, which was then an old house downtown. I remember moving to the Y and then upscaling the room at the Y. I remember church in a box. Everything got packed up and put in a closet every Sunday. I remember wonderful people and many wonderful experiences. I remember becoming a licensed teacher, and I remember my last years with you as an ordained Unity minister. Thank you for all the support you gave me during all those experiences. Today, I am fully retired. I live with my Chihuahua, Sebastian, and I'm very happy to say that my daughter Beth and her husband Matthew have a wonderful little boy named Julian, and he will be 2 years old on Thanksgiving. So all truly is well with me, and I affirm the same for all of you. God is blessing you now.
Thank you, April. We remember Jean Lennis, a friend of Reverend April's, who was a longtime member of Unity of Appleton, who gifted us with her creativity, leadership, especially through her music. She was the music director for several years and wrote many songs for Unity, some of which we will sing today. And we appreciate Jean for sharing her talent, time, and spirit with Unity of Appleton.
Happy 40th Unity of Appleton. How wonderful. And happy celebrating to each one of you, shining your light to keep this transformed. one of the powerful experiences of unity alive in our community. May these first 40 years be just beginning. May you lead unity into the next 40. Congratulations. Shine on.
And while we do not have a video, we can't forget Lydia Singleton, our former congregant who became our spiritual leader in 2017. She had her own brand of leadership and brought us gracefully into the necessary adoption of new technology during the beginning of COVID. She adapted from gathering only in person to a totally online presence and back to hybrid services. Lydia and Administrator Nicole Wilson laid the foundation of our current vibrant virtual and online presence. With Lydia's resignation in 2021, our congregation stepped forward and has been focused on our mission of spiritual growth. Unity of Appleton looks forward to the next 40 years of living and sharing our principles as a community that is a spiritual community. And so as a way to affirm our future, please say with me our vision statement. A world powerfully transformed through shared spiritual awakening. And our mission, advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. And our values, abundance, acceptance, community, diversity, integrity, joy, and love. And we celebrate our children. Unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolding spirituality. And our daily word is guidance. I am divinely guided moment by moment, breath by breath. With certainty and assurance, I go forth to do what is mine to do, trusting all things are working for good. Even during the most trying times, through my faith, I am assured all is well, regardless of appearances, just as the sun shines after a storm. In times of uncertainty, I turn within, pray, and enter the silence, where I can better discern the still, small voice within me. Then I relax and pay attention to my intuition. I listen deeply to my soul's calling. I am open and receptive to the many ways my guidance manifests. Knowing and claiming my oneness with God, I dare to reach for my dreams. With unshakable faith, I go forth expecting to receive clear guidance and direction from the Christ within me. And from Psalms, I will instruct you and teach you the way you should go. And if you would care to speak aloud with me, guidance. Divine guidance clears and lights my way.
So
me, and I'm looking at them like, well, yeah, of course, Sandra, get up. And it's like, Paige, introduce Reverend Sandra.
Good morning.
I apologize. Anyone, we love her. We love her. And, I'm sorry, technology, my brain is all fuzzed up evidently. But that's okay, because we're here, we're here for 40 years and hopefully another 40. And here's Reverend Sandra to tell us the importance of that number. Yay.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here and helping you celebrate 40. Kudos on the technology of introducing those previous ministers. Wow, whoever did that, put that together. Beyond my skill set. I wanted to start with the ceremony. I think I may have talked about it here. I saw it first in Unity at Sheboygan. And maybe you have even done it here, I don't know, in the past. But it's called The Flames of Faith, and it is a candle lighting ceremony. And the ceremony is to promote universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all beings come from one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the underlying nature of all religious thought and experience, and we honor that here today. So as we light the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle over the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. And we light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual practices. And thank you, Linda. And as these candles are lit, let us all know and be aware of that power and presence of spirit in our lives and for this space that we hold, for this center, and for all religions that might have been unnamed in this ceremony. Thank you. It's really appropriate to light candles because it's your birthday. I was really taken with this ceremony when I first saw it at Sheboygan because Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, was really adamant about embracing all religions. And that's one thing that always spoke to me when I was introduced to Unity almost 49 years ago. And so today, as you celebrate 40 years of Unity for Appleton, I'd say applaud yourselves. Is there anyone here who was actually here 40 years ago? Raise your hands. Nobody? But I
Unitarian way back when.
a Unitarian, yes. And I know maybe the first minister who spoke on the video would have been here in the beginning, right? I love numerology and was introduced to it in a small group of women that gathered, and this would have been in the mid to late 80s. And we had a group of about 6 women who we met on a regular basis, sometimes weekly, at least bi-weekly. And we would do all kinds of spiritual teachings and books, and I really just look back at that time. Because I had unity in my background, I was in a community where there was no Unity Church or center. And it was in that group that I was introduced to numerology. And in that group, we were asked one of our exercises for Halloween was to write a list of 10 things that you are not. I would encourage any of you to go home later today or this week and do this. A list of 10 things you are not. Well, immediately came to my mind is I'm not a leader. This goes way back in time. That came really readily. And the next thing that came for me was I'm not a mathematician. I hated numbers. I did not do well in math in school. And then I had to get help from a spouse to help me get to a list of 10. But it was such an important exercise that it stayed with me. And as I moved in my path through life and found myself being asked for leadership positions, I always remembered that I had put that at the top of the list. I'm not a leader. Because the belief system with this exercise is those things that you believe you are not are hidden from the consciousness. And that deep down, we are those things. So back to numbers. It was the Greek philosopher Pythagoras in the 6th century BC who was the first to teach that numbers themselves had meaning, that go beyond counting and calculating. Numbers were esoteric symbols with divine significance. Both Jewish and later Christian readers of the Bible took inspiration from Pythagoras and attempted to derive mystical meaning from numbers, using all manners of creative methods. That was written by John Davis, who authored a book called The Basic Study of the Use of Numbers in the Bible. I found that Charles Fillmore wrote about numbers in several different books. One reference I thought I would use today is from Keep a True Lent, which, he wrote 13 books. And in the foreword to Keep a True Lent, he writes, the ancient Hebrew writers made a practice of using numbers to symbolize ideas. 40 in their minds was 4 square, a 4 square number suggesting the idea of a foundation for something to follow, an idea of completeness. So the number 40 is frequently used in the scriptures to indicate a completed preparation for something to follow. I think that's a pretty important definition that relates here today. The number 40 appears 146 times in the Bible. That's a lot. In Scripture, the number 40 signifies new life, new growth, transformation, a change from one great task to another. And here's some of the examples. The rain of the great flood, 40 days and 40 nights. I think Noah and the ark had something to do with that. Moses fasted 40 days and 40 nights to prepare himself to receive the law. And on Mount Sinai, another 40 days and 40 nights to receive the law. The Israelites wandered in the desert for 40 years after fleeing the Egyptians. The manna rained down on the Israelites for 40 years. The prophet Elijah walked 40 days and 40 nights to reach God at the Mount of Horeb. Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights to prepare for his public ministry. He ascended into heaven 40 days after his resurrection. The human gestation period for new life is around 40 weeks. So I'm thinking, at least spiritually, 40 really means something. However, in the Bible, number 40 is also a number of combat, examination, ordeal, and suffering. Many academics believe 40 to be the number of probations or trials, since it occurs so often in contexts dealing with judgment or testing. Nevertheless, this doesn't mean that 40 is exclusively symbolic. It still has literal meaning also in Scripture. It does seem that God has selected this number to help emphasize times of sorrow and suffering. In other references, non-biblical, number 40 is often used to symbolize when one generation is changed by another. In my generation, maybe it was common to hear life begins at 40. Do we still say that? 40 is the only number in the English language whose letters appear in alphabetical order. Minus 40 degrees and 40 above is the only temperature that's the same in both Fahrenheit and Celsius. When the bubonic plague gripped Europe during the Middle Ages, ships would be isolated in the harbor for 40 days before passengers could go ashore. It took chemists 40 attempts to develop a magical spray. Anyone know what that was? Come on, guys. WD-40, by a woman. WD-40's full name is Water Displacement 40th Formula. And in literature, 40 is the number of thieves Alibaba clashes with in Arabian Nights. Also, 40 is the number of winks suggested for a perfect nap. And if we need more evidence that 40 sounds like a lot, think of our standard American work week, 40 hours. So 40 is really filled with meaning, I think, in everyday life and within the scriptures, and it's throughout history. So today, throughout your history, here at Appleton, Unity of Appleton, we come together to celebrate your 40th anniversary as a community and as Unity of Appleton. And what an incredible timing that this week also celebrates Thanksgiving. The Greek word translated as give thanks means to actually feel grateful. Thus, we're enjoined to do more than mouth the words, thank you. We're supposed to have a genuine attitude of thankfulness, or at least be working in that direction. So Thanksgiving, a day to give thanks, to count the blessings in your life, unless, of course, you're the bird. We enter the week of Thanksgiving celebrating your 40th anniversary, but it's also a time of year that we focus on gratitude, giving thanks, probably more than any other time of the year. So on Thanksgiving Day, it's even more in the foremost of our thoughts to say thank you. Many families begin the meal with sharing one thing they're thankful for. Even some families I know do that as a prayer, as they go around the table and everyone says something they're thankful for. I know in your involvement and your commitment here within this group, and within that larger community outside your doors, that you hold sacred the word service. You know, I look at your announcements and all the things you're involved in out in the community and how important that is. And I like to call that sacred service. It's a mode of being in all walks of life, the way of the new mysteries and practical work for the transformation of culture. Your sense of service is deepened with your inner development so that the spiritual worlds are included in your circuit of serving. You know, sacred service would not only be helping people, but also then joining them at the table. That's soul work. That's a gift that returns to the giver. But, and it's a big but, if we believe Charles Fillmore, that where we place our thoughts, our time, and our energies, and our monies, that's what will expand. I think we really want to choose wisely. That which we want to increase in the world is where we're putting our time, our energy, and our money. And like Mother Teresa said, I won't join you in a rally against war, but when you're having a rally for peace, give me a call. Our language and words are so important. Thanksgiving is a day families gather to enjoy a meal together. We stuff ourselves to a point of discomfort with large, fancy assortment of food and usually more than one course and a number of desserts. We can be proud that Thanksgiving is also a day when a great many people reach out to help those less fortunate. It's become a tradition for many people before they spend their time with family to work in a food bank or a shelter. And because I know what you receive by being involved here, I know that that has great value. It's soul food. And soul food is the food of the heart. So let's just reimagine the heart as an organ of perceiving others and the world. And as we develop the capacity to keep ongoing interconnection with the heart, let us learn to really listen to what others need. Let us develop a new form of empathy, the ability to relate to others, heart to heart, soul to soul. I was introduced to a new way of hugging. You know, we tend to always go to this side to hug. If we go this side, we're heart to heart. Empathy and relationship with not only our physical world, but with the plant world, the animal world. May we learn to develop an inner perception of the other person. There is an interactive field living between ourselves and others. May we learn to enter into the depth of silence and to be present within that field. So as you continue your work here in this community with destiny and a look at the development of our lives from the viewpoint of what is coming to meet us, rather than from what already happened, shift our viewpoint of view to future times, making it possible for that inner experience of questions such as, what is it that we are here to do in the world that can only be done by us? What will our next 40 years bring? Congratulations on the first. Amen.
I now invite you to begin to prepare yourself for reflective personal prayer and guided musical meditation, after which I ask that you remain in essential silence during the music. If you choose to, you can close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body as it relaxes into your chair and you let go of today's anxieties. Feel your feet on the solid earth as you let go of tomorrow's worries. Become aware of your breathing as you breathe in life and breathe out love. Breathe in life and breathe out love. As you become centered, focus your attention on your beautiful heart, your beautiful Christ self. Become filled with gratitude and allow into yourself that which fills you with peace and love. So we begin. Now I invite you to gently return to this place. Open your eyes in the spirit of peace and gratitude.
We now enter our time of communal prayer for well-being. So please let us pause as we bring to mind a person or persons, including oneself, or situations to be held in prayer. We connect with the flow of divine energy and divine reality. Let us softly say aloud all together the names we have drawn to our awareness at this time. Linda, Sarah, the Middle East. We see all as Spirit sees them, whole, perfect, healthy, and free. We affirm the inner radiance of the divine is at the heart of all, for everybody and everything. We center our attention on Spirit's eternal presence within and draw upon this awareness. We affirm all good, all wholeness, all health and abundance that exists forever within each of us, regardless of current situations. Even in the midst of challenges, we know in our hearts all is well. We live and move in the infinite truth of love. Nothing separates us from this truth. We are one in love, and our well-being is guaranteed by it. We rest forever in love's presence. And so it is. Amen. Okay. We now move from prayer to our affirmation of prosperity. This is the time when those of us who feel Unity of Appleton is our spiritual home practice putting Spirit first in our financial life. This practice prospers the spiritual community we love and supports our own spiritual growth and prosperity. Please give whatever amount Spirit guides you to give, whatever that amount is. Take it in your hand and bless it with your love. If you are one who gives electronically, take the gift into your heart. Feel free to bless the plate as it passes by. Let yourself feel grateful to God in you as your one source. Then please join in our affirmation of prosperity. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of Spirit in the flow of divine abundance and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And our celebration of giving and receiving. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love, and I trust God as my source.
Love will keep us together. Think of our love whenever
just love these guys. We thank and we're grateful for all that has come before us, for our continued presence, for our gifts that we nurture and share with all of our community and our own lives. Thank you. Father, it's really cool to be up on stage and feeling the vibration of all that music. Gosh. Nice keyboarding there, Jay. Announcements. Here's how our YouTube channel did last month. New subscribers 1, total views 140, minutes watched 1,315. That's a lot of views. Thank you for checking that out.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
Oh.
I just got it in an email. I was like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really think about, I mean, that's 1,400 minutes.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks out there. We all make a difference. Unity of Appleton is having a food drive for St. Joseph's Food Pantry. Please bring non-perishables to Unity by November 30th, and thanks for your generosity. I was at Aldi's shopping and brought my, 20 pounds in here today. Brilliant Bliss, a community mantra music journey, is happening on November 30th. This is sacred sound medicine for heart and soul. Sing, listen, breathe, connect, and be. So it's going to be at 6:30 on November 30th. Show up. I think it's $25-ish, $22. Okay. That's a nice number.
One real quick thing, because I didn't know what this meant. I mean, none of us have heard of this before, right? And so Savi, who's doing this, sent us an email, or sent John, kind of what they're doing. There's a song that they do, and it ends up being sung in a round, and it's beautiful and really easy. And so from what I can tell, because she sent us like this 7-minute sort of clip of how this is going to work, I mean, I wanted to mention this today just because you look at that and go, I don't know what that means. Do I really want to spend $22 on this thing that I don't know what it means? But they play, and there's a whole ceremony to it, which I don't know about. But it's just so cool. The song is beautiful. It's really easy to learn. And evidently it's sung in a round kind of thing. And like Linda just talked about the vibrations, I think that is the whole point, right? Is this vibrational kind of thing, and everybody's singing together. And I was really skeptical about this, but I heard this thing and I was like, whoa, this is going to be cool and worth $22. So anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the solstice, and actually the song she sent me is the song Paige is talking about. They will do at solstice. I'm not sure if they're going to do that one at the thing on the 30th. Maybe they will, but it is beautiful, and it's, if you like meditative music, you'll enjoy this.
So that last line, community singing uplifts the spirit, opens the heart, calms the mind, instills connection and inner harmony. Join the circle. And it's lovingawareness.org. Or just show up. Yeah, pay at the door. New member class, those interested in joining or learning more about Unity, a new members class will be held Saturday, December 2nd from 9 to 11. And with questions, ask John in our Peace t-shirt over here, and Bedford in his nice crisp collared shirt. Ongoing book clubs at Unity. The Dream, The Journey, Eternity, and God is Mondays at 6 p.m. Just show up. It's here. The Grace Factor by Alan Cohen, Opening the Door to Infinite Love, is Thursdays from 1 to 2. And I forgot and scheduled the massage instead, so that's why I wasn't there. I'm sorry, Deb. Living Untethered by Michael Singer is Sundays right after service at 11:15, but not today because we're celebrating our 40th anniversary, but usually upstairs at 11:15 to 12:15. It's not too early to think about the holidays, want to get into the holiday spirit, be a bell ringer. Unity celebrates our community by ringing bells for the Salvation Army on Friday, December 15th from 6 to 7, followed by a bash at Glass Nickel Pizzeria. That's the fun part. Bells will be ringing at Walgreens on Northland, Fleet Farm on West Wisconsin, and the main entrance to Woodman's on Northwest Hill Drive. No experience required, just a friendly smile and a limber bell ringing wrist. Sign up at the Connect and Serve table. So everything's indoors, I think, it sounds like.
Yes. Yep.
Save the date. Return to the light with loving awareness, the winter solstice celebration on the solstice, Thursday, December 21st from 6 to 8 p.m. Brilliant Bliss, once again, the mantra music journey, returns to the light candle ceremony, community tea and treat reception. Join the festivities at Unity of Appleton. Once again, right here, kindly RSVP by December 17th. Info at lovingawareness.org, all in capitals, lovingawareness.org. Free will donations are appreciated at this event. And I'm assuming that's here again, too.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
it says, at Unity of Appleton. Was there any other?
Before you end, I would like to add one more. I have also received a video from Rick Biella that didn't get into the slideshow, so I at least want to play the audio for you.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Biella and his wife, Linda, were members for quite a few years, and Rick was our pianist extraordinaire. He was a choral director at Lawrence University, and when we say church in the box, and this keyboard came from him, and he used to haul it back and forth from the parking ramp into the YMCA lot. So let's listen to Rick. Please play. Service. Can you hear it? No. Okay, hold on.
I know Tom began learning to play guitar, how would you say, extemporaneously, more so when you were on that music team with Rick. And they jam.
And I was the pianist at the Unity Church for some 18 years, I think from about 1991 to 2009 when I took a position at Texas Tech. I can remember we attended 1 week and Linda said, we have to go here. And so it was at Jones Park, and the following week I took over. And the piano was so bad at the Y, that was where we had services at the time, that I donated, bought an electric keyboard and then played that for most of that time. And then we donated our home piano when we left for Texas Tech. But 18 years, a lot of memories, a lot of improvising on hymns before the service, a lot of collaborations with lots of great people. I remember integrating with some of the sermons and doing some meditative work with them and with the entire service to try to make that a holistic experience for all. I know a lot of the experiences moved me deeply, and I'm grateful for the time together. I also remember that when I did buy that electric keyboard, I hauled it in our Buick station wagon for some 10 years, I think, back and forth every Sunday. Actually built a ramp to the back of the car so we could get it in and out more easily. But I think, stewardship comes in a lot of different ways, and I know I received much more than I ever gave. So I'm grateful for all those experiences. Have a great time in your celebration of 40 years.
Thanks, Cindy.
This is donated by Jeannie.
The prayer for protection, if you'd like to stand and we'll speak this together. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Where we are, God is, and all is well.
This one will bring back some memories. We used to do this every week.